So she got so mad. She said, "You're trying to copy me," but she always tries to hate on the side. She's such a hater.
You cannot stand someone else being the center of attention. You came to my wedding, you couldn't be happy. You complained from the second you got there till the second you left. That's what it's about. Forget about you couldn't be happy. You couldn't be happy for me. You couldn't be happy that I was the center of attention.
To add insult to injury, Kim organized a campaign.
The thing about fame is that it never falls apart quietly. When it cracks, it echoes. And lately, that echo has one name all over it: Kim Kardashian. Because what just happened didn't just bruise her ego, it shook the image she spent years building. One fashion house, one decision, one sister, and suddenly the spotlight that always followed Kim shifted and didn't look back. People thought the Kardashian drama had cooled off. They thought the wedding tension, the whispers about copied vibes, the icy interviews, all of that was old news. But fashion has a long memory, and when Dolce and Gabbana made their latest move, it didn't feel random. It felt personal, almost like a statement. Kim built her empire on being the chosen one, the face, the moment, the headline. So imagine the silence in her circle when word started spreading that the same brand she once worked so closely with had moved on and chosen Kourtney instead. No dramatic announcement, no big speech, just a shift. Quiet, sharp, and impossible to ignore. But here's the twist. This wasn't just about clothes. This was about history, about rivalry, about a wound that never fully healed. Because to understand why this hit so hard, you have to go back to a time when Kim wasn't fighting for relevance, but for respect. Before billion-dollar brands and Met Gala headlines, Kim Kardashian was known as the girl trying to be taken seriously. She had the fame, sure, but in the world of high fashion, she was still knocking at the door. Designers weren't always lining up, editors weren't always impressed, and behind the glam, there was a woman desperate to prove she belonged. Dolce & Gabbana became one of the labels that finally opened that door. Their bold, dramatic style matched Kim's love for attention-grabbing fashion. Over time, she built a connection with the brand that felt deeper than business. They dressed her, she praised them. It looked like loyalty on both sides.
About business, it's just there's so much and it takes precedence over hurting your sister. It's just legit copying my wedding. Like, everything that I did was like pulling like references of like 90s, like it's just like it's stupid because it's the deeper thing that it's about. It's grabbing whatever's in the way. It's like such an abundance, so like an excess, like it's never enough. It's never like just okay to like not do something or turn something down because it doesn't make sense.
Then came Kourtney's wedding in Italy, a moment that was supposed to be about love, family, and celebration. Dolce & Gabbana played a huge role in that event, curating looks and aesthetics that felt deeply tied to Kourtney's vision. For her, it was personal, emotional, a dream experience. But what nobody expected was what came after. Kim later collaborated with the same brand on a major fashion show that carried a very similar vintage Italian vibe. To some, it was just fashion inspiration. To others, it felt too close, too familiar. Fans noticed. Comment sections exploded. And suddenly, this wasn't just about style. It was about loyalty between sisters. Kourtney spoke about feeling hurt, not screaming, not attacking, just disappointed, like something special had been taken and turned into business. Kim, on the other hand, defended herself, saying fashion is creative, not owned. Different perspectives, same family, growing tension. Most people thought time would smooth it over. It didn't. Because behind the scenes, the fashion world was watching. And brands don't just care about looks, they care about energy, public perception, and who feels fresh. Kim had always been the sister who turned moments into money, but slowly, whispers started floating around that the public was craving something different, something less calculated, something that felt more natural. That's where Kourtney's image started shifting. She wasn't chasing every spotlight. She wasn't everywhere all at once. She leaned into a softer, more laid-back persona. And weirdly, that felt new in a world tired of constant exposure. So when Dolce & Gabbana started appearing alongside Kourtney again, people noticed. Then came the real shock. Kim wasn't front and center with the brand anymore. No big campaigns, no high-profile collaborations. Instead, Kourtney's presence grew. Appearances, connections, quiet alignment. And just like that, the narrative online exploded. Did they choose Kourtney over Kim? No official drama, no public statement attacking anyone, but in celebrity language, silence can scream. What nobody expected was how visibly tense things looked after that. Kim, who usually brushes off drama with confidence, seemed different. Her posts felt louder, her fashion choices more extreme, like she was trying to remind everyone who she is. Because when you've built your identity on being the main character, being replaced feels like disappearing. And here's where the emotional layer hits. This isn't just two influencers fighting over outfits. This is sisterhood mixed with business, the most dangerous combo. Growing up together, sharing everything, then competing in an industry that only has room for one moment at a time. That pressure doesn't stay professional. It seeps into family dinners, group chats, holidays. Imagine watching your sister get praised by a brand you thought was your ally. Imagine headlines comparing you, fans picking sides, every move analyzed. Kim built her legacy on control, controlling her image, her narrative, her timing. But this situation, she couldn't steer it. And that loss of control is what people say really hit her. Sources close to the family talk about distance, not screaming matches, but emotional space. Conversations that feel careful instead of natural. That's often worse than fighting, when people stop being open. Meanwhile, Kourtney seems calmer than ever, focused on her family, her marriage, her own projects. That contrast makes the situation look even sharper. One sister pushing harder, the other stepping back and somehow gaining more. And the public? They love a storyline like this. Team Kim, Team Kourtney, social media turning fashion into a family saga. But beneath the gossip is a deeper question. What happens when the role you've always played starts slipping away? Kim Kardashian changed celebrity culture. She turned reality TV fame into business power in a way nobody had done before. But fame evolves, audiences shift, and sometimes the spotlight moves not because you failed, but because people want a new feeling. That doesn't make it hurt less. Because imagine building your whole life on being chosen and then watching a brand choose your sister instead. The emotional toll of that kind of shift doesn't just stay online. It follows you home, into your thoughts, into how you see yourself. And for someone whose confidence has always been part of her armor, cracks start to show in small ways. Overworking, overposting, trying to prove something that once came naturally. Family relationships get delicate, business conversations get awkward. Even celebrations feel different when unspoken tension is sitting at the table. But here's the part people don't talk about enough. Moments like this redefine legacies. Kim isn't over, far from it, but she's in a chapter where she can't rely on being the automatic favorite. She has to evolve again, the way she did years ago when nobody believed she could make it in fashion at all. And Kourtney, she's stepping into a space she never chased, which might be why it fits her so well. In the end, this isn't just a fashion switch. It's a power shift inside a family that built an empire together. It's about identity, pride, and the painful reality that sometimes the people closest to you end up standing where you used to be. But maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of Kim's story. Maybe this is the uncomfortable reset before the next reinvention. Because if there's one thing history has shown, it's that she doesn't stay down for long. Still, the message from this moment is loud. Fame is borrowed, relevance moves, and even queens of pop culture can feel the sting of being replaced, especially when the person stepping into the light shares your last name.